activities that could be designed to counter terrorism and other problems?
You know, I think President Obama came to office with a lot of goodwill around the world. I think people throughout the Muslim world were really hoping to hear a different direction, announced for the United States. And I think some of that has happened. Certainly, rhetorically, it has. I would just caution the United States from getting involved with any more military action in that region. I think we've reached a point of diminishing returns, and we're reaching a point where we're inviting another spectacular terrorist attack like 9/11. I think we need to disengage militarily and engage on a humanitarian level, and also realize that in a lot of these countries, the form of governance that is most likely to lead to stability is going to be an Islamic government. And so we need to stop being afraid of the word Islam and start realizing that some of America's best natural allies in these countries would actually be Islamist movements that are not jihadist in nature and are not interested in establishing the caliphate, but are interested in being left alone and doing no harm to others. And I think we've made a big mistake by criminalizing Islam, because I think that you have to respect what's indigenously right to people, while at the same time standing for your own principles. But the key to it, I think, at the beginning is to make a good faith posturing that we're not going to be bombing in these countries anymore, and we're going to try to engage in with a different path.
And do you think that will create an environment in which the people in these countries will rise up against these problems they face?
Look at what's happened throughout I was just in Egypt recently also, and brave young people in all these countries are the ones on the front lines of it. And a lot of them do want democracy, and some of them want Islamist government. And I think at the end of the day, we have to let them decide what kind of government they want. But many of the people that were brought down were in one form or another backed by the United States. And so I think we have to take a humility pill as we watch the events play out in the Middle East, and realize that we're at a spit in the ocean of history right now. And for a lot of people that are out in the streets, they see history through a much wider lens than we do. And so, Mubarak being overthrown in Egypt, was an epic event for the people of that country. But we also have to realize that we're continuing to support a military dictatorship there after Mubarak. And if we don't shift our direction in some of these countries, we're going to end up on the wrong side of history in those countries. Bahrain is a dictatorship supported by the United States. Ali Abdullah Saleh of Yemen was supported for years and years by the United States. We were on the wrong side of a lot of these equations. And so, I do think that we have to be humble, stop seeing ourselves as the cops of the world, and monitor the various movements that are fighting for change in these countries, and engage those that we think represent a version of our values, and try to encourage them rather than inflaming the most radical elements of these societies by fulfilling their prophecies and bombing their countries.